Hi everybody, this is Jason with Maker Paradise. We are connecting crowdfunders all around the world. We've already had 150 plus successful crowdfunders be part of Maker Paradise, and today I'm really excited to introduce two new people to the crowdfunding community, which is Hasan, Hamze, and Steven Low. And I am excited also to talk about their current crowdfunding project, which is one way to get to know them, and also their journey as crowdfunders. So they have a project right now called Ampere Surge e-bikes for the urban adventurers, and it's live on Indiegogo as of this introduction and recording. They've raised already $35,000, and they still have a little bit, just under 3 weeks left to go. So welcome, guys, to the Maker Paradise community and Maker Paradise.
Hi, Jay.
Thank you very much.
It's great to be here.
So we're going to talk more about your backgrounds and your journey as crowdfunders in the crowdfunder education segment. But for this part, I would love to learn about your current project as a way of learning about your passion and about you guys as crowdfunders. The first thing I always do is ask people why this product should exist or needs to exist, rather than jumping right into the benefits and, hey, it does this and it does that. As somebody who's commuting all around the world or wants to, have a better option, tell me why you guys were inspired to create this particular product. What was the need that you saw? What was missing?
Absolutely. So I'll backtrack and I'll actually tell you why we started the company to begin with, and then I'll tell you why we made Surge and Ampere, because it's sort of a related story. So Shockebikes to us was a response to structural constraints of urban built environments in North American cities and urban centers. So what do I mean by that? Well, we recognize that urban planning in most North American cities is not very conducive to living a healthy lifestyle, physical activities, and in fact, it's very disempowering to most people. This means that oftentimes people have to rely on cars to get around their cities, especially for cities that are characterized by major urban sprawl. So this is unlike a good portion of European cities. As you know, they're designed with accessibility in mind in order to encourage people to walk, to cycle, and so on. And so for us, it was about thinking about how can we encourage people to, be more physically active. And there are a couple of ways to do that. One is if we were to somehow change the structure of the environment itself. And two is you'd have to change the behavior of people themselves. So changing the structure of the environment is very difficult, obviously. We're not going to be able to change the hills of Vancouver, nor are we going to be able to change the fact that some cities are very sprawled out. They're not condensed.
So just jumping in, I think that your way of explaining is very thoughtful and really helpful to people, because you're sharing that you see a bigger trend. And essentially the trend that you're seeing, the pattern you're seeing in society is that we're almost becoming a product of our environment. And in a way, it's happening subconsciously or unconsciously. Like, we wake up and we don't even think about it, but our environment is not really encouraging us to be physically active or healthy. And so what your kind of inspiration was, what can we do that's practical? What can we put in people's hands that they would want to be physically active? They would just feel that it's a natural, their environment expands a little bit, and now it becomes more engaging and more inviting to be physically active. And so let's talk about what you've created. Let's talk about the current project. We're going to go in the second part and talk about, you guys are already successful crowdfunders. This is your second project already. So the first project you successfully raised $70,000 you're sharing with me, which is great. Congratulations. And one thing you were sharing with me a little bit was that this is coming out of listening to people, that this project is really, you guys had gotten a great response, but you wanted to go further because you're listening to people. So tell me what they asked for and what you've created in this campaign.
Absolutely. So for Spark, it was more about a bicycle that was sort of an all-terrain bicycle, mostly looking like a mountain bicycle. However, we realized that we didn't really cover all types of riders. There are riders who just wanted to ride casually, and there are riders who wanted more of a street performance bicycle. And so that's the kind of feedback we got back, and that's what sort of inspired us to create the two new models. One is a cruiser, and one is a performance hybrid bicycle. And so we're trying to cover a larger segment of the population of urban riders.
So the cruiser is which one, Ampere?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So Ampere is the cruiser.
And the Surge is more like a road bike. It's not as compared to Spark, which is your mountain bike. And I like the theme here. It has things to do with, if this was Jeopardy, it would be a question. The question would be, can you name 3 bicycle brands that have to do with electricity? And that would sort of be the Jeopardy question. And then the answer would be Surge, Ampere, and Spark. It's very cool though. The branding and the kind of the process behind it's very cool. Now, just so that if I'm a rider and I really want to be healthy and I really want to extend my environment, I want to wake up and just like, oh yeah, I want to ride. I want to be exercising instead of just getting into a bus or driving a car and sitting in traffic and being stressed out. And there are all these benefits of exercise. What makes Surge and Ampere different from other e-bikes? Like why this e-bike?
Sure. So with Surge and Ampere, we try to give the most options we can in terms of enabling people to choose what kind of a level of exercise they want to undertake. So with a lot of other electric bicycles, they either have a throttle, which you just pull and the bike will go without even pedaling, or they'll have just a pedal assist system, which will only turn on as they pedal. What we did with Surge and Ampere is we have both. We have both a throttle and a pedal assist system that has multiple levels. And so you can start out, if you're not as fit, you can start out on a level 5 assistance, which will really give you a boost. As you become more fit, you can start lowering that level to level 3, level 2. Ultimately, you can even turn off the assistance altogether at level 0 and start pedaling as a regular bicycle. We just wanted to give people the option so that when they are going up a hill or going against the wind, they could do whatever they like. They could just turn on the throttle and just ride without pedaling, or if they wanted to get a little bit more pedaling in, they could just change the level of assistance. And that is not very common on all electric bicycles.
So I'd say like the number one kind of differentiator that you've shared with me and with our community and with everyone else, and kind of the innovation, the need and the innovation that frames, creators on crowdfunding is what are they creating? And one of the main things you guys have done is you're very aware about environment. And so you're really designing this bike to feel natural and part of people's day. And the second thing that you guys are doing that's really unique, that Surge and Ampere is doing and Spark is doing, is that you're giving people awareness that they don't have to be super fit and they don't have to be kind of lazy either. They can kind of be anywhere in that spectrum, get on and start and find the level that's right for you. And maybe the level that's right for you today might be you need a lot of support to get to work on the first week. By week 2, you could be on a 4, 3, or a 4, which is you're doing more exercise. And then it just could depend on day by day or your environment. If you're going up a hill, you want more or less. So you're combining two different things, and that's really kind of cool. And it's really thoughtful. I say that the way I would kind of one of the ways I would describe you guys is you're the thoughtful e-bike. You're the e-bike that has really taken into consideration ergonomics, environment, and building good habits, and kind of brought that into the bike to make it kind of readily accessible to a wide range of bikers in a wide range of environments. So I think this was a good introduction for the first segment, and then I'll just say thanks for coming on Maker Paradise for this part. And we'll have, for everyone who's listening, if you want to learn how these guys made it happen, what they did on their first campaign, what's their secret sauce, what's their behind the scenes, we have a educator series interview with them as well that you can subscribe to in the link below. And that's where we go into more detail and we have a real case study on crowdfunding. For this part, I'll just say if you haven't backed them yet and you got a lot more information about why this is the thoughtful e-bike and the helpful environment extension to really get you encouraged to exercise and be healthy, go ahead and support them. And also, this is a great form of media to share on your social media as a backer. If you're one of the backers and you want to get the word out, go ahead and share this episode of Maker Paradise. All right, see you next time on Maker Paradise. That's it, and thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.